I am sure that there are many questions that people have. So I would like to open it up to the floor for any questions for the great Michelle Lynch.
What I really want to know is your challenges and maybe a little bit about your journey to get to this stage, to the launch of today. So what were your key challenges? Because I imagine there are a lot of people that need that education. So it's probably not just young people, adults like myself too.
I've actually, without realizing, implemented some of the balance framework within my client. So I remember as an accountant, I was called in to a client who was going through a lot. So their previous accountant robbed them about £100,000. And I was called on the Friday night to come in on the Monday morning. I got my team in. Their bank balance was in the 4-digit figure, and they were about to make staff redundant at the time and cut. I went in, and within 4 to 5 months, I turned that company around by getting their bank balance to in the 6 figures, 2, save all the staff, and 3, their turnover grew. How I did that, I put budget in place, and I was very, according to the CEO, very hard. So I demanded that they sat through a board meeting every month, going through their actual figures, comparing their actual figures to their budgeted figures. And I would be a bit hard by saying they're not hitting their targets and they don't need to cut back on staff, but they need to cut back on anything. How that applied to a personal life, back doing a budget and looking at what can I cut out now for my long-term gain. And then you'll see that long-term gain.
My question is around how you're going to deliver this to young people. I teach in a university and the attention span is this wide. And everybody's learning things from TikTok, 30-second videos. They don't have the capacity to assimilate so much information. But I know you have a way of being able to connect with young people and breaking down information in a way that people understand. How do you intend to make this framework work for that population? We're not even going to go into the people in school. I mean, just imagine university students, how much more younger people. So would like to hear how you intend to break that down. And actually, I have another question. That's around the N, around nurturing credits. For some of us that come from a culture where we pay for everything in cash, having a credit card is very, very difficult. And I think that goes back to breaking money mindsets because I don't like owing. How do you intend to kind of balance that out for people that are from places where owing money is not an option, you know? Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Angela. And she's not just a Dr. Angela, she's also a lecturer as well at Keele University. I'll answer the latter one first. So nurturing credit. So there's good credit and there's bad credit. So it's about educating them what the good credits are and how they use that. Because if you would like to buy a house, you haven't shown any ability to repay, so you won't be able to get a mortgage, for example. So it's how you manage that credit. So if you're having a credit and you're managing it well. But also there's a bad credit. So if you had lots and lots of credit cards and you're not managing that well, then that's a bad credit. So it's analyzing that and deep diving down into that. Your first question now, how I'm going to deliver that into university. And this is where I look at Dr. Rashid. It is new, and we have to do a lot of testing and trying, and what works and what doesn't work, and revisiting and analyzing and partnershiping with persons in education to see what works and what doesn't work.
Okay, my name is Melody. So my question, and I'm pretty sure you may have answered it, maybe. Did you say it was preventative? So there's no after the person has gone into a debt or after the finances has gone down the drain? Is it just preventative, or is it also for young people who have done taken all the wrong steps, made all the wrong decisions? Is there anything in your framework that picks them back up again? So because I thought I heard just preventative, so I just wanted to be sure that is there any room for that?
Great question. So the A, addressing and assessing the debt. So we'll look at all the debts they have and work out ways in which we can come out of that. And then from that, they're moving forward. So it's about working with the client, I use the word client, or student, to say how they are going to get out of it. So they're not going to bury themselves in it, because a lot of people bury themselves in it and then it just gets worse and worse. So it's taking those debts one by one, listing them out, working a plan, and working with that plan. Because sometimes if they're working on their own, they feel like, oh, they can't do it. But working alongside us, we'll be able to help them to overcome that. And that's where DWP probably come in, because back in the days, they used to have Citizen Advice Bureau. Yeah. So we can help them work. So they don't bury them head with it, and they can move forward. Yeah. There's always second chances and third chances.
So I'm Rebecca Hemmings. I'm the CEO and founder of Strawberry Words Training Consultancy, and we specialise in reducing discrimination. So already I've got questions about layers behind this, but I won't ask them today. I actually, where I'm coming from is as a parent of a year 7 child, and we have a Jamaican background. And I was having a conversation earlier that many of us weren't taught a lot of this information, and I want to make sure that obviously I do better with my daughter. So I just wondered, what is it exactly you got planned for parents? And I do have a suggestion also, which I think would be amazing, is if you had a book. You need to be launching a book today also. But yeah, just generally, I'm really excited about what you've got. And by the way, your presentation was phenomenal. What is it that you would be doing with parents so that we can continue the education with our children?
I must admit, I don't have all the answers today. But they are great questions, which we will, and as I said, it's a journey, which we're going to be taking on. But a big education into parents, that's something I'll be looking into going forward, because it's one thing empowering the child, but when they go back into the household and they're doing another thing, that's conflicting. So that's something we need to be working on to change that mindset of the parents as well. So, yeah.
And when are you going to bring out the book?
Yeah, the talks around the book has been something that even Reverend Lawson even asked me the same thing. It is coming. I can't give you a date or time, so it would be a workbook that complements the balance framework. So it will be a workbook for primary school children, workbook for senior school students, and workbook for the young adults, because the book has to be tailored per age group. So it's going to be a project. So if I go in hibernation, you'll understand why.
Thank you, Michelle. We have time for just 2 more questions. So Dr. Rashida.
You mentioned the national curriculum. It's currently being reviewed. In fact, it's out in a draft form by the government after about 24 years. It's a great opportunity to actually contact the Department of Education and articulate the emotions, the passions, and the requirement for young people to be literate in finances. So that's one suggestion. And secondly, my colleague over there from the university said the student span, concentration span. I think if we can engage with young people, not just talking to them and engaging with them by having a discussion, but also having activities where they have to be actually active and give them scenarios to work through, so they have to engage their brains rather than look for information on ChatGPT or whatever, that would be really very helpful. So it's only a suggestion. And in terms of writing a book, I think you can use those examples from the work you do with various groups, whether it's young people, parents, and young adults. Those examples could be used in the book itself.
Thank you. You see the community house? That's why. I'm so grateful for all of you because this vision, this dream, it's beyond me. And I'm going to be tapping into some of the resources in this room to help me to deliver.
It was mentioned around the closing of places that used to support people when they were in financial difficulty or deep in trouble. The name's just gone right out of my head now. Can we remember what it was? Citizens Advice, that's it. However, there are other organisations and you still can, I guess, some way access the Citizens Advice. Do you have any plans or future plans, ideas about connecting some of those organisations that are out there that are trying to fill that gap as well as your programme, especially with some of your older clients to come and the parents?
Great question. Thank you, Charmaine. I know there's a lot of opportunities that are going to be opening or coming my way. And this is where I'm going to ask the Lord's direction and leading in terms of who I should partnership with for the message to get across to. But if it's the right platform and if it's the Lord's leading, then I will.
It's a question for you. Obviously, we're all here to support you here today, and we hope to be part of your advisory board as well. But what is it that you want from us in terms of next steps? Obviously, you've done your focus group, but how can you utilise us in the room for what you're trying to do next?
That's a very big question, Belinda. One, I do need a team. So in terms of administration, creativity, in terms of the design and all those things that goes with it. I do need links into schools, universities, DWP, in terms of delivering, in terms of the content, like somebody to proofreading and the book. So it's the whole marketing, everything that comes with launching. As much as I've launched a business before, but this is a different type of business. So it's everything that comes from the grassroots right up. Yeah. I hope I've answered your question.
We'll expect an email.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much for all the really insightful questions. Faith, heart, and purpose. Something has changed. I would like for you all, please, to just be upstanding for this incredible woman and give her a wonderful round of applause.